Hey guys, what is going on? It's Don here from Pandemic Playground, and this is part 2 of our absolute beginner's guide to space engineers. Now, the last time we left off, we just finished creating our little flying device using our little survival craft that we started earlier, or the respawn pod. And we have left off with an assembler. Now, we're going to continue off with actually expanding this little guy and adding a drill in front of the connection port in front, as well as turning this guy into a fully qualified miner. Now, keep in mind that even though we are doing this, we are limited to about how many runs we could do because we are lack of electricity on this, or the battery on this guy. So we do have to make every moment count. So the first thing we're going to do is jump into grabbing a drill. So I'm going to hit G, and then I'm going to grab a drill, slap it over here, and kind of see what kind of resources I need, which is 1 motor, construction components, steel plates, 1 computer. Oh, it's actually not a lot. Not a lot of components. Now, I am going to put this right here. Oh, I don't have any steel plates with this, so what I am going to do is now grab this, grab some steel plates. I do need 1 motor, a couple of computers, and construction components. And yeah, I'll go as I figure it out as I go. Now we're going to connect it to this point, and large steel tube. That was the big thing we needed. 30 construction components and large steel tube. Let's do 1 large steel tube and construction components. I do have the computer, motor, four of these guys. So I have more than enough iron to get that processed. And we'll see. I don't think I have enough construction components. I'm missing 1. All right, let's go grab that 1 more. And we should be able to finish this off real quick. I'm just going to make 10 because you could always use extra. And there we have it. Now what we want to do is go into the ship, press G, and drop the block tool into your inventory, you know, just in case. But pressing left click will now give you the ability to spin that around and it could start drilling. Right click is also the same thing as right click mining, which will make a bigger hole but won't gather resources. So before we head out, I am going to make sure I have everything that I need. Let's fill up our bottle. Drop off all the resources. And let's set forth to our little coal bolt location. Remember we saved the GPS location for our coal bolt? That's where it is. Now because it's nighttime and I don't have any lights on this guy, we will need our lamps. So remember to keep this on. And that is it. Let's set landing gear off. And there's an unknown signal nearby, so we might be able to grab that because it's 1.3 kilometers away from the place that we want to mine at. Now again, we have, if you look at the bottom right, 15,000 kilograms of weight right now. Ooh, that's very close. I could even see the parachute. So what that means is 4 thrusters can only allow for roughly 60,000 weight, 60,000 kilograms of weight. So we're going to have to keep an eye on how much we're going to be drilling. We could fill up the ship, but filling up the ship might make us not fly anymore. So we are going to figure out the best way for this. Oh man, it's so hard to see because the lighting is an issue. Now I'm going to slowly see where this guy is because it's very close. I might as well try to get this as well. Oh man. I'm trying to hit the button. Oh. Ooh, kids pajama drill. Nice. Now, let's see if I could grab that. I'll worry about that later. My respawn pod's floating on its own, and I can't leave it too long because it's just gonna fly away without me. Okay. So back to where we were doing. So what I'm gonna do is just drill towards these little discoloration in the rocks and try to grab as much cobalt as possible. Now, or grab as much stone as possible. Cobalt is super important for tier 1. Without cobalt, you're basically at a standstill of what you're doing in this game because cobalt is needed to make metal grids. Metal grids is required for ship components as also storage. So we basically need cobalt in the beginning of the game or you can't really progress. And I'm glad that we found some in the beginning, which helps us a ton. Now I'm keeping an eye on the weight. It's 29,000 right now. I gotta make sure that my production is working. Let me just gather that. So the weight is decreasing. Like if I let go, you will see the weight decrease because it is actually getting rid of the stone as we're mining. But we're gonna do one good pass. We're not gonna get to a cobalt yet, but eventually we will. And make sure everything is level because you only got one thruster per direction, so if it's like tilted towards the left or the right, you might accidentally fall. Ooh, I might be very full right now. A drill has 7k, this has 3k. Small cargo container is full. Survival kit is trying to do as fast as it can. Okay, I think I can't gather anymore because I'm maxing out the drill already. So what that means is I'm gonna head back to base. Let this land so I don't use up the battery. And where did I put the base? I don't know. That's the problem. I forgot to mark the base. I know it's this direction somewhere. I see it right there. So like how I set up the GPS location for the cobalt, we're gonna have to set up a GPS location for the base, unless you have some sort of beacon that you can place over there so you won't lose the position of the base. But otherwise, I would just set a GPS because it's much cheaper than building a beacon. Alright, you see how it's heavy and it's not stopping? You will have to tilt it up a little to kind of use the bottom thrusters to help slow down the craft. There you go. Now I'm just going to park this right next to it because I'm going to start building the refinery. We're going to build out the space a little bit, but now it's easier just to get materials. Did we lock? Yes, we did. So we're going to grab all this, slap that over here, and start the process of building our refinery. So G refine, and oh, you know what? It's already down here. Basic refinery is number 6. And you see how there's holes? The assembler only has one hole, which kind of sucks, but it allows us to connect our refinery that has 2 holes through here. So what I'm going to do is slap the refinery this way, and I know I need steel plate, so let's grab a steel plate. And slap that here. Keep in mind that you can't finish building this until you have all the resources in a sense, because once you built this like almost 80% complete, you can't get in here to grab the resources. So we need to be able to at least leave this unfinished for a certain part of time until we grab all the materials. Now most part of this refinery construction requires steel plates. So we're going to grab the construction components, motor, and computers first. So construction components, we need how many? 10, 10, 20. So construction components, we need 20. So we're gonna grab that, then we're gonna need 10 of this, and 10 more, what else? Computers. And 10 motors. So that's gonna be a lot. 10 motors, 10 net. And then we could do 110 steel plates, so I'll just make a lot of extra. Hopefully we have enough materials, which we do, because that one run gave us a ton of materials. And I'm gonna place more down here. 10, 10, 10. Yep, we have almost enough. You see how I just clicked it a little bit? The steel plates, is everything went to it. We just didn't assemble it yet. So I'm still missing 12 plates. So I'm going to grab that. There you go. Now we have more than enough to complete this task. So we don't have to worry about not being able to reach assembly. You see how it closed up? Now I can't even hit the assembly if I want to. Maybe I could go through from here, but not really that great. Now, because we only have one wind turbine, we might not have enough power to power everything. We'll see. I'm going to grab some steel plates from here. See, I could actually reach the assembly through this hole, which is perfect. I'm going to create some sort of a base right now because I'm nervous if something happens to collapse, we won't be able to salvage what we got. And I'm just kind of placing a floor here to make it look a little bit prettier. That's it. Perfect. So now I could actually take the ore, which it finally finished taking. Oh, it took all of it. And I was gonna place it in the refinery. So the next thing I want to build is a storage component over here. So what we're gonna do is actually use our build planner. So what we're gonna do is choose small cargo container, choose that, and then add it to the build planner. Now to use the build planner, what we're gonna need to do is a shift middle button is to tell the production to choose all those parts to create. So I'm gonna let this go because we actually have all the materials to do this. And then when it's about ready, we could do control middle button to pull all the parts and start building our little storage container. So it makes it a little bit easier than now that we have something called the build planner. And I mean, I'm still not accustomed to the keys. I used this mod back in the day where it does it for me and it's right click instead of middle mouse button, but it's the same. The concept is the same. So let me just keep an eye on how far this is going to be done. You can walk away, go mine a little bit more if you want to. I'm just going to sit here and wait because it's not too many components that we got left. And why do I have radio components? Somehow, I must have got this from my antenna somewhere. And there we go. Now that we have everything, control middle mouse button will withdraw all the components. So it's in my inventory. And I can now place this in my toolbar. Hit 9, kind of rotate that, and there you go. Shouldn't take too long to build everything because I already have all the components and it just makes life so much easier. Okay, now that I have everything I need and storage, I could drop everything in here, and I have multiple connection points now. I have one in the front, one in the back, one on the side, one on top, and one on bottom, which allows me to create other stuff that will allow me to create a connector for this. But being that we only have one wind turbine, we're going to want to expand this a little bit. So what I'm going to do is probably, let's see, pull this out. I hit left control middle mouse button to pull this. Oh, I don't have any steel plates. I do have steel plates. Okay. So let's go grab some steel plates and build this out a little. You want it to be 8 away. Remember I was saying 8 away is probably the best 8 height, 8 difference. Like you don't want to be on top of each other or it won't generate as much as it can. That seems to be good enough. I'm gonna need more. steel plates. And also interior components. So what I'm going to do is go back to build planner and go to wind turbine. Oh, I already have it, but also drop this into the build planner. Okay. Shift middle mouse button. It's going to successfully do that. And I'm going to continue building this. Until I have 2 windmills or wind turbines. I don't think I could build this. There you go. I should have all the components done. Nope, almost done. You hear that noise? That means there's not enough power. It's going up and then going down, turning on and off. See, it's pausing. It just doesn't have enough power to run all this stuff. This is why I need a battery and a second windmill just to help produce enough electricity to finish this off. So now I'm going to do control middle mouse button, withdraw all the stuff. It says I couldn't withdraw the construction components, don't know why. Alright, now we're in business. That one seems to be spinning a little bit faster because this is probably blocked by something. All right, now next part is batteries. Batteries, so we could collect all the extra energy we're getting and we could feed it back to either the system or feed it back to the ship if we need to. So having this miner is great, but we still need to maintain it and we have to charge it. We have to do a lot of stuff to it. Let's go back to build planner and do battery. And we're gonna do this battery. This is the big battery, basically. This one has a choice between a big battery and a small battery. And I am gonna drop this into here. And what I'm going to do is now shift middle mouse button. All the components are being constructed. I think I have everything I need. Yeah, it seems like I have everything I need. So I'm just going to let this go. When you construct a battery and you take it apart, most of the time you get back all the components. The battery is the only component that you will never get back. Once you disassemble it, you will never get the power cells back. So keep that in mind. Once you place the battery down, that is it. Don't move it because you will lose all the power cells. Yeah, that is taking some bit of time. Now I should really just make a second run. Or I should work on the ship. Probably work on the ship. Let's grab all the components. Do we have everything? Alright. I just deposit it. Holding Alt middle mouse button will deposit everything that I have in my inventory. And let's pop over to the other side because I parked too close. Fill up everything we can here. Now, taking this thing apart, the survival kit, I could build this same exact thing right into the base, and the only thing that I need extra is steel plates, but everything else is exactly the same components. So let's move this out of the way a little. I just pushed it forward a little. Now that I know it's locked. That I definitely don't need. It was connected to the survival kit. I just needed 2 landing gears on the side over there. I could probably like clean this up a little bit too, because we're gonna need to. But for now, we are gonna be able to survival kit. Let's drop this in here. Where is my welder? Why is that missing? Character tools. There you go. 6. let's punch that over here. There's a hole on each side, one side here and one side on the opposite side. So the way I'm building it right now is perfect. So I have everything I need except for steel plates, which I could grab from the cargo container in a sec. Still need 3 more. All right. Now I don't have to worry about blowing up the respawn pod, because this is our respawn point. Without the survival kit, and when we die, we have nowhere to respawn. The only thing I'm missing is to charge my hydrogen through this panel, because I have no oxygen generator. We could just leave it like this because we're able to heal ourselves and also have a respawn point. So guys, this is a pretty basic base for what we have going on. We have 2 wind turbines, a survival kit, cargo container for our extra cargo, refinery, and assembler. Like, this is the most basic needs that we need to survive, and we already achieved that probably this early into the game. And we also have a little vehicle for our miners, so we're ahead. We are definitely ahead. The next thing we need to do is just, like I said, build a battery and a connector to charge our ship. Those are 2 main things, and then we are pretty much complete. So with that being said, we're going to wait for episode 3 to finish up our base by adding those extra components and trying to expand on our ship a little bit, just so we can make it a little bit better with storage. Well, anyway, that is it for me, guys. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.